Change your diet, change your life, change the planet. People say to me all the time, don't you miss pizza? Don't you miss cheeseburgers, which were my favorite foods? Those two. I could eat both of them all day long, every day, and I did a lot. And what I say to them is that I would miss me much more because I'm a different person now. And yeah, cheeseburgers taste good and pizza tastes good, but after I eat it, I always felt terrible, and I didn't even know it at the time. That was just my normal operating state. I always felt bad and didn't even know because I had grown used to it. When somebody starts smoking, they cough. Their body rejects it. But after a while, they stop coughing. The body's like, well, the behavior is going to continue. We might as well turn the alarm signal off. As we're driving around Lake of the Woods, getting lost today, we had some adventures trying to find this building. At one point, I took my seatbelt off. I did. Jenica was not happy about this, nor was the car, because it kept yelling at me that my seatbelt was not on. But after about 20 seconds of yelling at me that my seatbelt was not on, it stopped. Our bodies do the same thing. Our minds do the same thing. If you continue abusing yourself, eventually your mind and body adapts to it and says, okay, this is the new norm. Let's get used to it. No matter what happens in your life, you will adapt to it. You don't often realize how good you can feel until you suddenly feel good one day and you're like, I didn't even know that was possible. Put a frog in lukewarm water on the stove, not that I recommend doing this, and turn up the heat slowly. The frog won't jump out of the pot. It'll die. The water can go to boiling and the frog won't jump out of the pot because the temperature goes up gradually, it doesn't notice, and it dies. Put a frog in boiling water and it jumps out. Our minds are designed that way to adapt to things. And this is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. Our memories are flexible and plastic, and they constantly change. Even we think they're set in stone. Modern psychology and neuroscience tells us otherwise. Your memories are flexible and plastic. And every time you bring them up or recall them, you actually rewrite them. This is the latest cutting-edge neuroscience. You change your memories every time you recall them because you have to rewrite them every time you recall them. It's just like RAM and a hard drive on a computer. You load it out of the hard drive into RAM so that you can use it. And once you've used it, you've got to write it back to the hard drive. And it's now different because you're different. But you think it's the same memory. I have 2 nieces, and I can't see them growing. But somebody who hasn't been to the house for a while, they'll come over and say, oh my God, look how much you've grown. But we can't see it because our memories keep changing to adapt to them. Because if I remembered my niece Maple, if I remembered her at 1 year old, and now she's changing, I wouldn't recognize her anymore. That's not Maple. Maple's 1 year old. But our memories are flexible to allow us to continue to recognize people and places and situations, which is where we get stuck. But it's the way we're designed, so we can't blame ourselves and can't beat ourselves up.